Bleach is one of the most iconic animes of all time. Being part of the big three alongside Naruto and One Piece, while inspiring some of the most popular anime series of the modern era, it's wild that there isn't a console game based around Bleach yet. It has been how long now? Since 2011? You're telling me that it's been 13 years since the last Bleach game released in consoles? The time for a video game based around Ichigo and his supporting cast has been long overdue, and there's no excuse to even make the attempt, especially with the resurrection of the anime and how popular it's been since it came back. I mean, Dragon Ball gets to have a game for what it feels like every other month, and One Piece released Odyssey last January. Video games is the biggest medium in media, so to have Bleach not get a game for the last 2 generations is upsetting, and I believe it was for that one big reason why it hasn't had the same amount of exposure like One Piece or Naruto did this past decade. I mean, aside from the anime ending in 2012, of course. Not only that, but the amount of potential a Bleach game has is limitless. I mean, the main character is literally a sword-wielding, super-powered Shinigami whose abilities lend itself comfortably in an interactive setting. Think Devil May Cry or Final Fantasy VII Remake, but crazier and cel-shaded to look more like the anime. The game can easily be a series like the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series. The tutorial can be Ichigo learning how to use his Shinigami abilities with Rukia guiding him, fighting hollows in his town. This works on a narrative level since Ichigo's spiritual powers is large, which attracts hungry hollows around him. As you get more in tune with the mechanics of the game, you meet Chad, Orihime, and Oryu, who can act as support during combat. Think Final Fantasy VII Remake, where you can switch characters during combat. This allows more variety in the combat mechanics and will be necessary when dealing with stronger boss fights later on in the game. The first game can deal with the Soul Society arc, which that alone puts the game in a very strong foundation that later sequels can build upon from. From there, you can have Ninja Storm action sequences with God of War level game design for the boss fights. Imagine a massive battle between Ichigo and Aizen, spanning across multiple levels and locations. If it were up to me, I would even bring Kubo to help write the story and add more lore to the world, and give it more context to how the Soul Society operates. You can include them in the side missions and also have collectibles from both Naruki City and the Soul Society. Bring in the voice actors from the anime and please have them voice everything. Please don't bring these actors in to voice the set pieces just to have us read the box whenever we are traversing the open world, like Dragon Ball Kakarot did. It works for some games, but in this case I'd rather have the voice actors lure us into the world since we already know them so well from the anime. When it comes to the art direction of the game, Dragon Ball FighterZ and Kakarot are great examples for how I want the game to look like. Both games are exactly how anime games should look when adapting the series from TV animation to a gaming medium. Dragon Ball FighterZ nails the art design and how the character's model should be framed, while Kakarot nails how cinematic the set pieces should feel like when having these larger than life battles. The guys from Arc System Works took how animators would frame the characters in an animation setting with the frames and incorporated them into how characters like Goku and Vegeta moved when fighting. It was such an innovative and appropriate way to authentically adapt Dragon Ball in an interactive medium. And with how beautiful and quite frankly great Bleach still looks, I mean, the anime aged gracefully, if we're being honest. Bleach can benefit tremendously from that same type of treatment. Bleach can incorporate that level of polish, and it goes so far into making the player feel like they're Ichigo saving his friends. Keeping the design that Kubo brought into his manga and applying it to this hypothetical Bleach experience is essential to making this game work. What's great about this is that the Ninja Storm approach is just one way to go about making this work. Bleach, alongside Naruto and One Piece, have the luxury of characters and worlds that lend themselves perfectly to many game genres. For example, like Dragon Ball, we can have an Arc System Works Bleach fighting game that rivals many of the best fighting games out there. Due to the various amounts of ways to incorporate different styles of combat and abilities, Bleach also has the villains and supporting cast to make a Bleach fighting game work, and think of the DLCs and levels you can provide for that type of game. Or imagine a Bleach RPG where you can choose which type of Soul Reaper you want to be and have it set years later after the main story is done. Though for this to work, I would imagine Kubo would have to come in and write the story, as he is the main writer of this entire series. Alright, basically what I'm saying in this rant is that the time for Bleach not to have a video game is long overdue. The fans are there, the story potential is there, the gameplay potential is there, and more importantly, the time is ripe as shit for this not to happen. Hell, it should have happened like 2 years ago, but honestly it's better late than ever. So let me know what you guys think. Should there be a Bleach game made? Should there not be? Is it worth it? I think so. I mean, I would take a Bleach game over a Demon Slayer game, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, whether you guys agree or disagree, please let me know in the comments, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.